Priti, I want to bring you in because what are the facts? The fact that the girl is a minor, not a minor, nobody really knows that because the Delhi police hasn't said anything on that.
Well, that's exactly the point I wanted to make, Preeti, because at this stage, when the investigation is ongoing, first of all, we as a country and the viewers need to understand that what is a fact and what is a provable fact in court are very different things. Whether a girl is a minor, is not a minor, will have to depend on the documentation that the police brings before the court. Now, we at this stage do not know what are the documents that the police is looking at. We don't know what her birth certificate says, we don't know what her school leaving certificate says, and we certainly don't know what her class 10 certificate says. Ultimately, what the age of birth that is given in the class 10 certificate, that is taken as the first proof. If that is not there, then the school entrance, the register at the time somebody enters school, that is taken. At this stage, nobody knows what is in those papers. So whether or not a Pocso case will apply or not depends entirely on that document. And if I may just take 10 more seconds. If the document says that she is a minor and in the first statement she has raised an allegation that brings in sexual offences and then later she takes it back, then the police and the court will have to then look at it as a Pocso case. They will have to look at it from the perspective of a minor possibly being coerced, threatened or pressured, or something out of court has happened. And we've seen multiple cases where the courts have said that just because there was an out-of-court settlement does not mean that the other corroborative evidence is not there. A lot depends on what actually is the paper that comes before the court.
And nobody quite knows that. So therefore, Mr. Sinha, I'm going to come back to you. First, let me bring in Mr. Sanjay Hegde. Who knows what the document says? Because the Delhi police hasn't made the document public. And it's whatever the investigation has been. Sanjay Hegde, you wanted to make a point? Go ahead, sir.
No, the point was about the document. We don't know what the document says. And we cannot just go by inspired links to various media houses and newspapers. If the document says that she was a minor and she sticks in court to her statement that she was sexually abused, then notwithstanding anything else, a Pocso case will be made out.
But Mr. Hegde, the question that I want to ask you, because one thing is clear, something that her father has confirmed to us, that the sexual offences or assault, that fact, that statement has been changed and says there is no sexual assault in the new statement. What does the legal implication of that mean going ahead?
There would be the earlier statement, there would be whatever turns up in the investigation, and the fact that a trial happens does not mean that a man is guilty or not guilty. Everything would have to be taken into account. Both her 164 statements would be available both to the prosecution as well as the defense to contradict her, to contradict whatever she says in court. So, you know, this entire case reminds me of a much earlier case. We had the Zahira Habibullah Sheikh case in the Best Bakery. The girl saw the event, she denied it in court. Thereafter, she came out with a statement that she had actually seen the event. The Supreme Court then transferred the trial, and then again the girl changed her mind in court. So ultimately, what is it that she will say in court? Everything turns on that.
And if she says she wasn't sexually assaulted, then, sir?
Then there is no case for Pocso. He might get an acquittal. Right
in
now,
Pocso,
what we are
Pocso, but there are other 6 women who have... Right.
Yes. Those are other offences.
Those other 6 complainants, are those grave charges enough for the man in question to go to jail?
Yes, absolutely. Even if it is under 354, there is a possibility of a jail sentence.
Okay. Mr. Sinha, you know, please do come back into the conversation because the facts that you are quoting are not facts, sir, is all our humble submission was. Go ahead, sir.
See, when a person, you know, the prosecution can figure out that whether the charges are reliable or not. Mr. Hegde is saying very correctly that if the charges are not maintainable, then the charge sheet will not be filed, or even if the charge sheet is filed, then it will not be maintainable in front of the court, number one. So if the, but if the girl is a minor, then the court may take a different opinion, and then they say that no, that second 164 also is not reliable, so give another statement, so that the atmosphere should be very fair, and then she should be asked, because that girl is a minor, number one. Number two, about other 6 charges, see, the substantiation is the must thing. That's why Delhi police is taking so much time. Their charges must be corroborated, that their charges are true or not. So the investigation, goal of investigation is that. And because this time has taken, I don't know what exactly the investigation report is leading towards. And if the charges are not maintainable, or they can't be corroborated, then the case either will be dropped, or it will be a very weak charge sheet which can immediately be quashed. So this is my firm legal opinion. Then when the case cannot be corroborated, the charges cannot be corroborated, then accused will certainly be given benefit of the doubt.
Okay. आशा देवी जी, आप जैसे भी ये पूरा केस चला है, क्योंकि इसमें तो हमारे जो पहलवान हैं वो भी जुड़े हुए हैं, मैसेज क्या जा रहा है आशा देवी जी?
देखिए, मैसेज बहुत गलत जा रहा है कि 40 दिन कम नहीं होते, बच्चियां दोबारा रोड पे बैठी हैं, दोबारा प्रदर्शन पे बैठी हैं, तो इसका मैसेज गलत जा रहा है कि जो बच्चियां इतनी देश विदेश से गोल्ड मेडल जीत के आई हैं, उनका अगर ये हाल है, तो हमारे गांव में, हमारे शहरों में, हमारे नॉर्मल बच्चियों के साथ, महिलाओं के साथ जो क्राइम हो रहा है, तो उनका क्या होगा? तो ये गलत संदेश जा रहा है। अभी मैं सुन रही थी कि माइनर नहीं है या माइनर है, तो कोर्ट का अभी फैसला नहीं आया है, तो उसका जांच होनी चाहिए कि वाकई में वो बालिग है या नाबालिग है, तब डिसीजन होना चाहिए कि नहीं। पॉक्सो एक्ट
वही जांच चल रही है,
तो जांच हो जानी चाहिए, क्योंकि जांच ठीक से ना हो, पुलिस ठीक से काम ना करे और बच्ची को एक इंसाफ ना मिले, तो ये हमारे कहीं ना कहीं हमारे कानून पे एक कलंक होता है कि बच्चियों को इंसाफ ना मिले तो गलत है।
All right, let's end it at that. I'd like to end it at that. Appreciate you all for joining us.